r/rules horror. Posted by u/creeperflint. Rules for treasure hunting off the Hunter's Coast. You want to be a treasure hunter, do you? The downed ships in this area do have quite a bit of treasure in them, and everyone in the town appreciates the treasure hunters for spending their money and keeping the town relevant, even though the ships haven't been coming for a long time now. There's a reason everyone isn't a treasure hunter though: it's dangerous work. We've managed to work out how to avoid most of the dangers, but even the most experienced hunters still die or go missing every so often. Go read through this rule list we compiled, would you? You can see if the job looks like it'd fit you. 1. Get some experience crewing someone else's boat before even thinking about getting your own. It's easy to find a ship to work on. Some people go their whole careers without ever buying their own boat. 2. Sail with a crew. While one person can technically go out alone, it's orders of magnitude easier and safer with multiple people. At the very least, you should have a diver, a navigator, a guard, and a laborer. The diver dives, the navigator navigates, the guard keeps an eye out, and the laborer does everything else. 3. Work out roughly how you're going to split the loot before you set sail. This prevents arguments that have sunk boats. Some tips. A. The boat's owner should get a larger cut, since they have to pay for supplies and upkeep, and just deal with general maintenance. Divers have the most dangerous job, so they should also get more. B. If you come across a large, valuable item, it's better to sell it and split the cash accordingly, rather than argue over who should get the item. C. Record the conversation about who gets what. Better yet, write out a contract and have everyone sign it. This discourages trickery and provides recourse should someone dash off with more than their share of loot immediately after you get back to shore. 4. Make sure your boat is of high quality, and that your crewmates know how to control it. Crappy little dinghies and rowboats aren't equipped for the trips you'll be making. They also don't last long when storms and trouble come. Milson sells good boats. They're a little pricey, but all the hunters swear by them. By and large, you shouldn't be boarding anything that isn't his boat. 5. Make sure your boat is fully equipped. Highly recommended items include firearms, a diving tether, full diving gear, possibly multiple sets, good strong crates, both metal and wood/bone, a nautilus charm or two, a harpoon, a compass, enough food to last your whole crew for a few days, fishing equipment, a water filter, a Maggie's can, and whatever Milson recommends you have as a matter of course for owning a boat. You'll see why you need some of these things later. I know it sucks to be the guy going, why don't we have a Maggie's can? Right before you're about to leave, but all of these items are vital and could very well save your butt. No boat worth crewing will make fun of you for equipment checking. B. Milson hands out lists of supplies to have on a boat for free. I'd recommend grabbing one. 6. Verify the identities of your crew before setting sail with them. First, check with one of the old-timers that sit under the shore trees to make sure they aren't known to be lazy, thievish, assholes, or sea-cursed. Then, shine a light in their eyes. If their pupils turn blue, don't let them on your boat. Lastly, record them saying something on a phone or small recording device, and play it back. If they sound markedly different or if their voice doesn't show up at all, don't let them on your boat. Anyone who fails the last 2 tests should be shot and their bodies dumped in the sea. If you are unable to do this, just make sure they don't get on your boat. B. Anyone who refuses the test should first be reasoned with, then shot if they do not comply. C. Remember to test the person testing everyone else. D. Do not board the boat of any crew who doesn't do these steps before setting sail, or who doesn't do the last 2 steps with an unchanged, sailed together before crew. E. Record your self-identity checking whenever you have cause to do so. If you need to shoot anyone, people will want to see the recordings. You'd be surprised at how many people are willing to kill their crewmates for a bigger share of the loot. 7. Only the owner of the boat should have access to any firearms. Only guards should possess harpoons. Neither of these people should ever be a diver on any trip. 8. Before sailing on any boat, perform an equipment check and a straggler check. Make sure you have all equipment, both standard and specialized. If you don't have all equipment, don't sail until you do. Also be sure to check for any people trying to hide on your ship. Simply shoo these people off and make sure they don't have any equipment on them. Should you find any stragglers, check the structural integrity of the boat, to make sure it hasn't been tampered with. 9. Before going out, check the weather. Don't go out when it's overcast, and if you're out in sea or smell bad weather approaching, head back immediately, no matter how profitable the dive you're on is. You do not want to be out there when it storms, and you can always come back later. 10. All the stuff close to shore has been picked over. Do not dive within a mile radius of the docks, even if you spot something shiny. It's probably either glass, a beer bottle, or a shiny. Shinies only stay by the coast, so you shouldn't have any problems with them once you've gone out of the mile range. 11 divers should be attached to a tether, which is attached to the ship. You can use it to communicate with the diver if you need to. They should also be wearing a full diving suit with no skin showing. Just in case, perform identity checks on all returning divers, especially if they are untethered or have visible holes in their suit. 12 After you have verified your diver, trust them. If they tell you that you need to leave now, or wait to turn on your ship's motor until 15 minutes have passed, or what have you, listen to them. There are other things that only divers encounter, and you need to trust them when they tell you how to handle them. 13 If you go a couple miles northeast of the docks, you'll come across a black, rocky coast. I know there's a bunch of ships that sank around there, but they sank because of the sirens living there. If you see those rocks, turn around. The sirens' voices carry surprisingly far, and they're loud, even at a distance. 14 Keep an ear out when you're hunting. If you start hearing a faint but unmistakable whine, like a violin, almost, stop the expedition and hunker down in your boat until you can't hear it anymore. You should be inside a room or below decks. This is why you don't want to use a rowboat. Afterwards, head towards shore. The whiner likes to hang around the siren rocks, but he's been encountered elsewhere. 15 If your diver brings up weirdly smooth statues of oceanic-looking things, have the diver put them in metal cages and lock them. Those things are really valuable if you sell them to collectors and historians, but they eat through organic material like it's nothing. 16 Your diver may dredge up small creatures that look like orange lobsters clinging to valuable loot. While the lobsters aren't predatory or malevolent, they get scared when they're on your boat. Put them in any loot they're clinging to inside a wood/bone cage and shut it, they corrode metal. 17 If a storm very suddenly hits with absolutely no warning or buildup, do not head towards the shore. The shinies come up to the surface during such events. Hunker down in your boat until the storm passes. Someone should be clutching the Nautilus charm and holding it out in front of them, and everyone should be on their knees, facing the charm, for the duration of the storm. These are rare and don't last long, but they're very dangerous for the same reason you don't want to be out during a storm. 18 You may see a huge, old-timey wooden sailing ship while hunting. Immediately cease all movement and play dead until it is out of your sight. The diver should be given the wood ship signal you pre-arranged earlier, and then you should cut their cord. They will know not to come up until the boat's motor starts again. 19 If you should suddenly find a dark mass below you lifting you out of the water, quickly shoot the harpoon at it, and it'll dislodge you and sink. If you do not do this before it starts sinking, it will sink with your boat attached. 20 You should have a compass on board, and you should check on it frequently. If you should look at the compass and discover it is going haywire, you're going to be stuck out there for a while. There'll be a ton of loot, but it'll be several days at minimum before you can get back to shore. You'll know it's time to head back when the compass stops spinning. 21 You may, at some point, look up at the sky only to discover that it is totally black. No stars, clouds, or moon, just uniform, unshaded black. If you should see this, call up your diver and use your Maggie's skin to call back to shore. Speak into it, and explain what your predicament is. Maggie will tell you what you need to do in order to get back to shore, and you need to do it without question. She will expect a cut of the loot when you get back. 22 Do not transport pearls of any sort on your boat. This includes pearls found in loot, in jewelry, on equipment, etc. If you should find any pearls on your ship, throw them overboard. 23 You may come across a large structure that looks like an underwater palace, complete with enticingly glowing lights. Sail away from this structure and avoid looking at it longer than 5 seconds at a time. 24 You may see people sitting on rocks or wreckage or in the water yelling or waving for help. Do not help these people. These guys were one of the biggest causes of randomly missing ships until someone live-streamed a voyage that rescued one. The person you saved will kill all of your crew and drag your bodies overboard. 25 In general, do not accept people not part of your verified crew on board. If you should find anyone else on board after you set sail, shoot them and dump the body overboard. 26 Before going ashore, verify the identities of your crew again. 27 Remember to record the process such that you can see the outcomes on the video. 28 You develop a sense for these things as time goes on, and all the incidents we've survived are noted down here. Despite all that, even if you perfectly follow the rules, someone always ventures a little past everyone else, and the creatures never completely run out of tricks. If you can't handle the uncertainty, don't be a treasure hunter. Say, Jimmy on our crew recently quit. Wanted to go and explore elsewhere, I don't know. Point is, we need another person on our crew, You'd be a guard, pretty easy job for a first-timer. You in?